Hi guys, it's Jasmine from healingfrombpd.org. Wait, what? This is a no frills video and I don't have time to edit it, so how am I going to go back and fix that? I'm not going to. Those of you who have been following me for a while know that my name is actually really Debbie, but I wish it was Jasmine, and I've thought about changing it to that sometimes, and I'm wondering how many of you guys can relate. So this video today is going to be about BPD and identity issues around your name. And, just to give you guys some hope and encouragement, one of the first real telltale signs for me that I had BPD was a huge disconnection to a sense of identity. Huge. I had no idea who I was. And I write about that a lot. And you get to see that process of me getting to know myself. And I feel like I'm in a totally different, wonderful space with that now, of actually knowing myself, liking myself, and most of the time loving myself. And so if you're worried that that's not something that's possible, I just want to encourage you that it is. And I want to let you know that it doesn't mean you have to have BPD to have issues around your identity in the sense of what we're going to talk about in this video, which is about not feeling connected to your name. However, I have found that a lot of people have connected and resonated with that when I brought it up in the past online. So it's the feeling that you don't really have a connection to your name. It doesn't feel like it's yours. Wishing that it were something else, wanting to change it, and that can be for a number of reasons. And again, lots of people feel this way who don't have BPD at all. So for me, the reason that this subject came up for me again today, out of the blue, really, was that I have a new friend, and she's pregnant and due to have that baby anytime now. And she was talking to me about how she chose the name. And I was so deeply moved and touched by the amount of love and attention and time and honor that she and her husband have been putting into selecting a name for this baby, that it just made me think of my own stuff, really. It made me think of how I have felt disconnected to my name, and I wish that there had been a little bit more preparation done, and how it has really actually affected me throughout my life. So I'll share a little bit with you about my story with my name, and I believe I get into it a little bit in Healing from Borderline Personality Disorder, the book, but I'll get into some more personal stuff here now too, which is that my mom wanted to name me Wendy, and my dad insisted on naming me Debbie, and I was his first child, and I did not know this until later in life, but the reason that he chose that name for me was because before he had met my mom, and this is just a huge coincidence, but a cousin of my mom, a distant cousin, like not distant, they knew each other, but not closely blood related. Her name was Deborah, and she went by Debbie. My dad was madly in love with her. He was, I think he always considered her his first and true love always. And so he wanted to name me after her, and I'm not sure if she just never liked the name Deborah and preferred Debbie, and that's why he insisted on my name being Debbie. I mean, it's legally Debbie. It's not Deborah or Deborah or anything like that. He was very specific in how he wanted it. And as a little girl, of course, I didn't know this story, and I didn't really have identity issues around my name, but even before I knew this information, I felt disconnected from the name at about adolescence into my teen years, into my 20s. And then when I found out this story, I felt even more disconnected from it because there was a lot of pain and heartache in my family. My dad was not very good to my mom. I don't think he was ever, well, maybe he was initially, but for most of their time together, I don't think they were really in love. There was a lot of anger. It was an abusive environment. I'll spare you the details on here, but I just have never liked where my name came from and what the name represents and what it would have represented to my mom, because my mom did find out about this with my dad. So these are my reasons, and everyone has different reasons. You may not like your name because you don't like specific people in your life that have called you by that name, and you just don't want to be associated with it anymore. There are some people who want to reclaim their name, so they do like some type of ritual or cleansing over their name to take away any of the negative, for lack of a better word, vibes associated with it. But I think it's really important to feel connected with your name, and I've been trying to reclaim mine, especially with doing a lot of things on the internet as Debbie, putting myself out there and doing a lot of positive things, and knowing that I am not the person that I was named after. But I also believe there is a lot of energy attached to the reasons that go into naming us. So having that conversation today really brought this up for me. And like I said before, when I've brought this up on Facebook with the Healing from BPD community, or on Twitter with BPD friends, other people have related, and I was surprised. And it must be common, or more common, amongst those of us who have identity issues. But like I said earlier, it happens to people who have no such issues at all either. So I'm wondering, can you relate? Have you at any time not felt connected to your name, or felt that it's not really you, it's not your identity, it doesn't match up with who you are in your heart? Have you considered changing your name? And if you'd like to share, what would you like to change it to? Because I'd be curious. My name is, that I've always thought of, is the one I used at the beginning of the video. I love the name Jasmine, and I like the Yasmin version of it as well. And would you ever legally do it? Because in most countries, once you're 18 years old, you have the right to do that. So I'm just wondering, what are your issues around the identity piece when it comes to your name? And I look forward to engaging with you guys and hearing your stories and where you stand on this issue. And I will see you in the next blog post or video. Thanks for bearing with me with this no frills video today.